The declaration of Chad's military ruler as the winner of the presidential election is being disputed by the opposition. Greetings, everyone. Today's video focuses on the recent presidential election in Chad, where the military ruler Mahamat Déby Itno emerged as the victor, with provisional results indicating he received more than 61% of the votes. However, Prime Minister Success Masra, who was his main competitor, has raised objections and accused the authorities of manipulating the outcome. The announcement of Déby Itno's victory was followed by gunfire in the capital. This election marks the first time Chad has held a presidential election since the passing of Déby Itno's father in 2021. Given the country's history of lacking peaceful transitions of power, the disputed election results have heightened political tensions. Without further delay, let us begin our discussion. Provisional results, which were made public on Thursday, have proclaimed Mahamat Déby Itno, the military leader of Chad, as the victorious candidate in the recent presidential election. However, Prime Minister Success Masra, who stands as his main competitor, has challenged these results. The election results in Chad were unexpectedly disclosed by the country's electoral authority ahead of schedule. According to the figures, Déby Itno emerged as the victor, securing a little over 61% of the total votes. Masra, the second-place candidate, trailed far behind with just over 18.5% of the vote. Following the announcement, there were reports of gunfire in the capital city, but it remained uncertain whether the shots were fired in celebration. The anticipated date for the release of preliminary findings was initially set for May 21st. After a period of military rule lasting 3 years, Chad finally conducted its long-awaited presidential election. Analysts widely anticipated that the incumbent, Déby Itno, also known as Mahamat Idris Déby, would emerge victorious. Déby Itno assumed control following the death of his father, who had held power for 30 years and was killed while battling insurgents in 2021. Since gaining independence in 1960, following years of French colonial rule, this oil-exporting nation with a population of almost 18 million has yet to experience a genuinely democratic transition of power. In advance of Thursday's official announcement, Masra took to Facebook to publish a speech wherein he accused the authorities of premeditated plans to manipulate the final result. In a speech lasting 11 minutes, Masra confidently addressed the nation while standing at a podium adorned with the national flag, dressed in a sharp blue suit. He proudly declared his triumph, asserting that the current leader intended to overturn the election results. Masra passionately urged Chad's military, police and security forces to defy Déby Itno's commands and cease their allegiance to him. In his speech, he emphasized that following these orders would align oneself with the wrong side of Chad's history. He warned that these orders would result in fighting against one's own brothers and sisters and ultimately lead to committing irreparable and unforgivable actions. His message was clear: refuse to obey these unjust orders. The president's office did not provide an immediate response. Following the announcement of the results on Thursday, both military and civilian supporters expressed their jubilation by taking to the streets on foot, as well as in cars and motorcycles, celebrating with the sound of honking horns and waving flags. According to Ardum Mohammed, a resident in the capital, the high turnout indicates a strong sense of awareness among the people and their maturity to actively participate in the vote. In October 2022, Masra, the leader of the Transformers opposition party, escaped from Chad. The military regime in power at the time took action against Masra's party and 6 others as part of a crackdown on demonstrations opposing Déby Itno's decision to prolong his presidency by an additional 2 years. The government labelled the protests as an attempted coup and reported that over 60 individuals lost their lives. In a development that took place towards the end of last year, the Minister of Reconciliation in the country reached an agreement with Masra's political party, granting permission for the exiled politician and other members of the opposition to come back to Chad. Subsequently, he was bestowed with the position of Prime Minister. In the expansive Sahel region, Chad is regarded by both the United States and France as one of the few steadfast allies remaining. especially in light of the military coups that have taken place in Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger in the past few years. The governing juntas in these three countries have expelled French troops and instead sought the aid of Russia's mercenary groups for their security needs. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.